Okay, video 5, chapter 6, page 118. The practice of gratitude and celebration. The practice of gratitude and celebration does not have to be lavish and time consuming. The more you practice gratitude, the more grateful you will become. As we saw in Danica's story, gratitude begets gratitude. And celebrating people's efforts, whether a project succeeded or not, is a way to bring the goodness of God into the workplace. You can enter into this practice by intentionally setting aside time on a consistent basis to give thanks to those around you and to God who has empowered the work being done in your workplace. Thinking back to the beginning of the book, when you wrote out your work rhythm, for some, there are natural breaks and deadlines where you do certain tasks or complete certain endeavors. For the teacher or professor, there are breaks between terms. For those in business, there is the end of a fiscal year or the end of a fiscal quarter. For those who are janitorial professionals, there are short and long-term projects to keep the building's maintenance in order. For medical and emergency professionals, there are ends of shifts and ends of stretches of multiple day shifts. Each of these can be natural times to pause and consider how you might give thanks and celebrate. Whatever your natural work rhythms, find spaces where being intentional about giving thanks in large and small ways fits into your work rhythms. Then take some time to enter into some of these practices, ways to give thanks, express gratitude, and celebrate those around you. Here are some ideas. Make a list of 5 things for which you are grateful at work. Enter into conversation with God about how you can go about giving thanks to celebrating those things tangibly, and then go and do it. Make a list of 3 people who have had positive impact on your work or your career. Send each of them a thank you card expressing your gratitude for them and how they have supported, helped, or cheered you on your working life. List ways you can celebrate your gratitude. It may be taking a group of people out to lunch, planning a day out of the office to be together, buying a gift, or recognizing them in a public setting. Then take your list and choose a few things to do. Make a plan for how you will intentionally give thanks for those who have contributed to your life. These celebrations might not occur on a daily or even a weekly basis, but whatever the frequency, acknowledging others can remind you to be thankful for how the Lord has been at work in your work. Another way to do this is on an ongoing basis at the end of the week is to identify a small handful of specific occurrences during the week for which you were thankful. Recognize God's goodness and presence on the interaction, project, or activity. Then do something tangible to acknowledge the people involved. Remember that gratitude begets gratitude. So the more you practice this, the more you will find yourself grateful for many things and people in your work. All right, questions and reflection discussion. I'll just keep that on this video since we're already here. Number 1, have you ever been in a workplace where your contributions did not seem valued or celebrated? Oh boy. where no one said thank you for what you were doing, or how did that impact your attitude or your work outcomes? Oh boy. I experienced this at the catering company I worked for over 10 plus years, made by Meg, which is why I'm no longer there. I gave a lot to the company, and there was little to no gratitude for what I was contributing, not just in a recognition of the work in a public setting, but also not monetarily. And they looked for ways to get as much as they could out of me without giving me more or compensating me for the work that I did, or even recognizing my tenure with the company and the contributions that I made to the overall success of the company itself. So yeah, that definitely impacted my attitude when I was there at work. I had to really be intentional about coming with joy. I showed up early, 30 minutes early to every shift, just so I can get my mind and my spirit right, so that I can be of service to the people who I was serving in the event and also to my team. I knew that being a chef and leading a team, it was important that I, as the leader, had the right attitude and showed up to work, and that I could make that contagious for my team and speak well to my team. So I made it a point to be the opposite of what they were to me, to my team. I had to work really hard to do that. I didn't get it right every time, but I can confidently say, and more often than not, I was successful in that only because of the feedback from my team. That's the only reason why I know. So there's that. Number 2, have you been in a workplace situation where gratitude toward your work was regularly expressed or your contributions were celebrated? Why? What was the impact of this experience on your work and on the rest of your life? I will say absolutely. This is number 2, by the way. Right now, where I'm working at the nonprofit plug, Dr. Sharon, my boss, speaks gratitude over me and everything I do on almost every call we have. We meet regularly every Monday at the same time. She ends almost every call and anytime we are encountering each other with a thank you and I appreciate you. And I'm telling you, it goes a long way. It makes me want to show up for her in ways I don't know. There'll be things that I've never done before, and I'll be like, I don't know what that is, but I want to figure it out, and I do because I know that she values the extra work and the extra mile that I do. Number 3, after reading this chapter, which of the ideas presented are practices you would like to incorporate in your working life? Where in your work rhythm will you incorporate them and how? Let's see. I think we do our staff roundup for the nonprofit plug once every other month. I think that would be a great time to do some public shout outs to the team as a way to say we're grateful and to express gratitude. And fortunately for me, the nonprofit plug is very open to that type of gratitude and celebration publicly. So I will implement doing that. Number 4, how did practicing gratitude and celebration go? What did you notice about your relationship with God as a result? And what impact did the practice have on those whom you work? And what impact did the practice have on you, your thoughts, and your attitudes? I mean, part of this I already explained in how I encountered my team at Made by Meg, the catering company. I also do that with some of my people that I encounter right now with Nonprofit Plug, but not the full team now that we've added more people. But I can already tell you the results that I had with my team at Made by Meg and with the people that I'm already expressing the gratitude with currently in Nonprofit Plug. I am experiencing a added trust and bond with the teams when that gratitude is public and when it's personal. I will send thank you cards. I will send notes. I will send texts. I will cook for them. I will use my hands to prepare stuff for them. Make sure that if I can make their experience better, that I do it. I remember their birthdays. I remember the special dates. And it really shifts the atmosphere at work when we're in the stuff, when we're in the tough moments. And I have to be direct or stern. They know that it's coming from a place of urgency and because it's necessary for the moment, but not coming out of a place of that I don't care for them, or I don't love them, or I'm not grateful for them. And so I recognize that, having that attitude of gratitude and leading that way and praising publicly and correcting in private has a huge impact on the workspace. And then my gratitude with the Lord always grows. It's been very deep, but it continues to be a reminder that I can always see my entire life disposition is glass half full. I can always see where God is working, even if it's not where I want it, when I want it. I can still, in those moments when I'm looking at something else, recognize the other things and other ways in which He is working on my behalf. And so that strengthens and deepens my relationship with the Lord. Okay, so those are my answers to the questions and reflection. I can't wait to meet with you soon. Take care.